Well, here we are.
Only took months and months of planning, but...
And months and months.
We made it. We did it, Patrick. Well, welcome everyone listening to the very first episode of our podcast, We're Just Friends. I'm here with Patrick, my lovely co-host.
The sexy, the majestic, the beautiful, the amazing, the spectacular.
That was not egotistical whatsoever.
Not at all.
Not
and
at
I'm
all.
here with my lovely co-host, Piper.
Oh, jeez. Thank you. Thank you. Patrick,
And,
I think it would be...
yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You go.
Yeah, so I was thinking we should probably explain how this got started, right?
I was going to say the same exact thing. Please explain how this all came to be, because it's super interesting.
Well, it started a couple months ago. We were just on the phone chatting it up, and Piper exclaims that that her and I should start a podcast, and I thought she was kidding, and then she was like, no, we actually should, and then 3 or so months later, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit more to that. You missed a couple points, but we have a lot of conversations on the phone, and a lot of them are really weird and random and don't make much sense. So I was like, let's start a podcast. Let's just show the world our random thought processes and carry on.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Patrick. I've been a little nervous about this, but, you know.
Yeah, I think I've been too, but hey, this is just for fun, and yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me, a lot of people that are really supportive of this podcast have been asking me, what is it about? Like, what's this podcast all about? And I told them the same thing, is that it's random stuff that nobody really cares about, except for us.
Yeah, and another thing is, it's called We're Just Friends, and that's because we are just friends, and this is just a thing friends do, is we just talk.
Exactly, exactly.
Now you get to listen in like creepers on our conversation.
Yeah, now we have an actual audience for actual conversations that we have in real life, so.
And hopefully, a lot of the talks will just be Piper and I, but hopefully we will get people to interview in the future.
Yeah.
And we actually have one pretty much on standby who we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, I'm so excited for all of our guests to come on, and I'm excited to hear what they have to say. So, exciting things, people. We've got awesome things in store. Yeah, big plans. We've got a lot happening.
All right.
Speaking of being nervous, I thought an interesting topic to start off with is irrational fears.
Mm-hmm.
Because Patrick knows all of my really obscure and weird irrational fears.
Oh, I definitely know. I know too well.
We're actually planning a trip to conquer one of ours. No,
this is all you.
No, this is not Patrick's fear. One of my irrational fears. A couple of our friends, and Patrick, are making me go to this this awful place that I went to as a kid, and made me have an actual fear. It's terrifying.
Would you like to inform them about what that fear is?
It's gonna be really... Let's just share with everybody what my irrational fear is. I am so afraid of statues, wax figures, anything in, like, museums. It's just terrifying. It is the worst thing that I can not describe to anybody else.
Are mannequins included in this?
Yeah, mannequins, can't do it. I think the worst...
And how do you go shopping? Do you just, like, shutter your eyes whenever you see a mannequin? Just walking by, shield your eyes!
I know my mom just has to, like, cover my eyes at all points. Yeah.
No, you just have to carry around, like, a bandana, like, around, or a handkerchief around your neck, and then just, like, cover it up whenever you see one.
Yeah, it sounds like a joke, but I'm not kidding. That is what I'm afraid of, and that perfectly describes how I go shopping. I definitely carry around a handkerchief and just, like, cover my eyes at all times.
Security chief?
What is a security chief?
It's a handkerchief they use for security against the dangerous mannequins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They are such a danger to me. Patrick, do you have any irrational fears? I don't actually remember if you do. Please share with the class.
I am not afraid of anything.
Doubt.
I have eaten giants.
That is such a lie, Patrick. Patrick is definitely afraid of so many things.
Like what?
Bees.
Give me an example.
I said bees.
Bees?
Yeah,
Oh,
bees.
yeah. Horrifying. Horrifying.
I'm just kidding. I don't actually know if you have any.
I used to be horrified of, like, the world ending.
That's so sad.
Like, literally, like, I was, like, when I was in 4th grade, maybe, I was genuinely afraid the world was about to end.
Let's see, what year was 4th grade for you? Because Patrick is a year younger than me, so that would have been, like, what, 2010? 11?
Yeah, so it was probably around the time of 2012, so...
Oh, yeah!
You know,
it was gonna end in 2012. Everyone freaked out. Do you remember that?
yeah. Wait, what if the world actually ended and this is just, like, the afterlife?
Do not,
kind of a
do
sucky
not make me
afterlife.
think about... If this is all, if my life for the past, how many years, 8 years has been a lie, that would be so devastating. So many exciting things are happening to me right now, and, like, that'd be so sad.
You're starting a podcast.
Yeah, starting a podcast. This wouldn't even be real. This could just be, like, what is it? A fragment of our imagination?
Yeah.
I think that's the saying. Yeah, my other irrational fear that actually is more common than you think, Patrick, because Patrick kind of makes fun of me for this, but little does he know, it's super common. It's actually thalassophobia. I don't know if any of you know what thalassophobia is.
I don't think I remember what that is.
Do you have a guess? I really want you to guess.
Phobia of phalanxes?
Of what? Can you repeat that? Can you spell it out for me?
Phalanxes? The fear of phalanxes?
I don't think you heard me right, Patrick.
What did you say?
I said thalassophobia. With a TH.
Not sure.
You have no idea?
Educate me.
Not even a guess? Thalassophobia
No
is the fear of pretty much anything and everything in the ocean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like, any man-made object in the ocean, like shipwrecks or plane wrecks, cannot do it. I have tried looking at pictures of it, and I will feel so nauseous. And, like, it's awful. I hate looking at anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Although, to be fair, I've never had the urge to look up a shipwreck. Or, like, a plane wreck in the ocean, so...
Well, okay, don't come for me like that. The only reason I looked up pictures of it is because I wanted to see if I could do it. And,
well, that's fair.
I definitely could not. My body could not handle it. Yes, but the trip that we're gonna take, it's, to conquer one of my fears, the other one, the statue one. That's gonna be interesting. Do you want to explain what we're doing?
Yeah, so, the House of Horrors, or the Land of Horrors that we're going to is just it's near, like, Oshkosh. It's this crazy place where, like, it's pretty much like a field entirely, like, covered with statues, and, like, freaking giant statues, and it's kind of it's not really an amusement park, but, like, it's for, like, tourists and stuff. Like, I've seen some drone footage of it, and, like, it's crazy.
To add to that, I used to go there as a kid a lot, and it just, it was bad. It was bad for me. But this multi-millionaire person bought all these really weird, lifelike statues of huge animals and, like, rusty-looking cars, and horrible. It's my worst nightmare. And I went on the walk, like the little trail outside, to see if I could conquer my fear alone when I was a little kid by myself, and I ended up on the ground and crying. So Patrick and some of our mutual friends are going to drive to Oshkosh, Wisconsin, go walk the same trail that I did, and I'm going to relive my horrible nightmares.
So, Piper, would you like to talk about one of the original things we were going to call it?
Yeah, so the original title for this podcast was going to be something a little controversial, and we realized...
Well, I wouldn't really call it that controversial.
Okay, it's a little controversial. It's not super horrible or anything.
I feel like it's more misleading.
Yeah, it's misleading, because it would have been about something that it's not about. This podcast was going to be called The Atheist and the Priest, because Patrick and I are really, really different people in terms of our beliefs, but we're still really good friends. You know, we get along and we coexist, even if we have really different beliefs.
Also, just to clarify, Piper is the atheist, and the reason why it would be called the atheist and the priest is because I'm actually hoping to go into the Catholic priesthood. And so another little misleading thing is it would be called the priest, which I'm not a priest. And won't be for like almost an entire decade. But yeah.
Yeah, which is super cool. I am so proud of him for wanting to do something that he's so devoted to. I support religion. Even if I'm an atheist, I think people can believe in whatever they believe in, and it shouldn't be a problem. You know, it doesn't affect my life in any way. And Patrick is so passionate, you guys, you have no idea. If you don't know who Patrick Stoddard is, he is the most passionate person when it comes to what he wants to do in the future. And I have never met a more dedicated person, honestly. I am not just saying that.
Piper, that means a lot. Thank you.
Well, of course.
And Piper... And I feel like why the both of us are such good friends is because both of us are very accepting of people of other beliefs and faiths and just lifestyles in general. And Piper is honestly one of the most accepting people I know. I swear she doesn't have a hateful bone in her body.
Thank you.
She's just
sweet.
Thank you. I feel like that's why we're good friends.
We are being so nice to each other in this podcast so far. Usually I'm like making fun of him and like... saying so many mean things.
Yeah. I mean, but like it's all in good fun.
That's what I think. To clarify, I don't make fun of Patrick. Like just to be a horrible person. I do it out of teasing him for really little things. Yep.
Like grammar. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I am the biggest grammar Nazi. Patrick, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, so I'll like text her and then I'll get one letter wrong and then she'll like correct me and then I'll say fight me, Piper.
That's his only response. Like he doesn't actually fight me. He'll just say fight me, Piper, and then he'll just leave it alone.
we don't actually get into fist fights about it. That's not who we are.
Do you want to have a fist fight?
Sure, come down.
Let's throw hands.
Come down to my house.
Or I'll catch punch these hands. Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. I'll just like surround myself with mannequins.
No, that is not fair. You cannot use that to your advantage.
Well, you can use... Oh my gosh, voice crack, I apologize.
First voice crack of the podcast. Write that one in the books, people.
But yeah, you could just bring Armageddon with you. Or bring a bunch of like 2012 Memento.
Just bring Pompeii with me.
Pompeii. Just carrying a volcano on your back.
We are so interesting.
We are the most interesting.
We are so interesting. I actually have a question for you. This is really random.
Well, I have an answer.
Can priests get tattoos?
I think so. I mean, it kind of depends on the tattoo. It's like... It's sort of also like swearing, like it depends on the context. Like if I get a tattoo on my back that says Hail Satan,
oh boy,
that would probably be not as accepted as if you got like a cross tattoo.
Right, okay, that makes sense.
And I have a question for you. Are you getting a tattoo?
You know what? Because we're all in quarantine, I was trying to avoid quarantine in general or talking about it because, we're all going through this and that's all you hear nowadays is quarantine everywhere, self-distancing, the pandemic, whatever. But if this wasn't going to happen, I was going to get a tattoo with my mom, and because I'm secretly a hippie, and Patrick can tell you all about how I'm secretly a hippie.
Oh, definitely. She has about 30 lava lamps in her room.
That is not what a hippie is, but okay. Because I'm secretly a hippie, I was going to get a symbol that means peace, love, and music, which is the most hippie thing ever. Yeah. But now that everything's shut down, not gonna happen. But this whole tattoo thing reminds me of the fact of the day, and the fact of the day is in South Korea, you cannot give someone a tattoo without a doctor's license, which I think is actually kind of cool.
Well, good thing I'm not in South Korea because I've already given about 17 people tattoos.
Have you now?
Yeah.
Were they all tramp stamps?
Don't ask about it.
Okay, I just asked about it.
They're only tramp stamps.
Only 17? You've been busy. Must have made a lot of money with that.
Yeah. How else do you think I could afford all my pencil erasers?
Patrick and his pencil eraser collection. Ooh, I know what we should talk about. From tattoos, we're going straight to like the most random thing. I want to have a food debate because some people have asked me to do this for the podcast, and I want to address it. Would you like to hear what the food debate is,
I would like to hear about the food. I'm hungry, so this is perfect.
It might not be a debate because we might both agree with it, but I think hot dogs are sandwiches, and if you disagree, you can prove me wrong.
Well, I mean, I feel like the more... Yeah, that's actually a good point, because, I mean... I kind of half agree. I feel like there would be more tacos. Except, like, yeah.
Okay. No.
Well, just like the way that they're
hot
shaped.
Hot dogs are not tacos. Yeah, okay, but a sandwich is classified as something in between two pieces of bread, right? A hot dog is in between two pieces of bread.
Yeah, that's
Therefore,
true.
it is a sandwich.
So it wouldn't be a taco. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, a taco is with a tortilla. Yeah. So you're wrong. You are ultra wrong. You are mega wrong. I have been
cast out from this podcast for my wrongness.
Yep, guys, it's just me now. Welcome to...
What do you even call it? I'm just friends with me?
Yeah, I'm friends with myself.
I'm friends with the mirror.
Here we are. Mm-hmm.
Just, like, edit my picture out of the, like, logo and just put a mirror there.
I'll just have a mirror next to me and I'll be my own co-host. It's fine. I can do it,
Yeah,
Patrick.
You won't be a host. You'll be a co-host.
Yes, I'll be a co-host.
It's like if you ever, it's like in the office. No, you're not the assistant to the manager. Sorry, I said that wrong. You're not the assistant manager. You're the assistant to the regional manager.
Facts. It's just fact. Yeah. I actually have another food debate question for you.
All right.
This one, someone, I don't remember which friend of mine it was, but someone wanted me to address if Uncrustables, like those sandwiches without the crust,
yeah,
as the name implies, he wants to know if Uncrustables are raviolis, why or why not, and I feel like that's a great question.
I don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever had an Uncrustable. I think somebody gave me one for, like, Christmas as a joke. And then I just... I'm not even... Like, this was at lunch. And he's just like, oh, here. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, no, then I just didn't eat it. And I'm like, nah. Because I'm one of the people who likes the crust on, like, bread.
Me too! Oh my god, I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah.
I actually really like the crust on sandwiches too,
yeah.
So...
I guess that's why we're friends. I mean, there's people who like the crust and people who don't.
That is the only reason why we're friends. We both like crust on sandwiches. Bread crust. I eat just the crust.
That's what we should rename our podcast to. The Crust.
The Crust. Patrick, I remember that you had some ideas for... like additions to this podcast, like I think you mentioned like a gaming channel or something. Can you please
definitely. If this
say all of your
up,
ideas
we're gonna have
for
like
the
a
future?
gaming channel. If we get like our own studio, because right now we're like recording like on other sides of Wisconsin, and like if we get our own recording studio, we are definitely gonna call it the Friend Zone.
Oh, definitely. That is the perfect name.
If we get, like, movies and stuff, we're gonna have multiple movies, and we're gonna call it the FCU, the Friends Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, like the Marvel Universe.
They stole our idea, definitely, 100%.
Oh, yeah, Stan Lee, he stole everything. I'm just kidding. I love Stan Lee. I don't have anything against him. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be laughing.
Why are you laughing?
I'm only laughing because you said rest in peace. I'm sorry.
Why is that?
We might have to cut that out. Anyway, what else? What else, Patrick? What else are we going to have?
What else are we going to have?
For our podcast. I think we're going to have like a TV show, right?
We're definitely going to have a TV show.
It's going to be a docu-series. Like Tiger King?
Exactly like Tiger King.
But way more dramatic.
Because we definitely have the same lives as Tiger King.
As Joe Exotic? Joe Exotic does not have
Joe
the same lives as
Schmo.
us. Let me just clarify.
I had a fish named Zebra, so flex on that, haters. I'm pretty much
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I'm pretty much Joe Exotic.
Here's the thing, though, that people don't know, or maybe they do, is that Zebra died last night.
My fish actually died last night.
Which isn't funny. I'm not trying to laugh at, like, the death of an animal, but...
He was an old fish. I would like to just say that this fish I've had for, I want to say 6 years? About 6
that
years.
That is insane.
And, like...
That is so crazy.
Yeah, no, he survived, like, a cannibal fish, a psychopath fish that, like, killed the other fish. And...
Oh my god.
Like, I remember one time we came home from vacation, and the tank was about, like, an eighth full, and there was just water all over. Like, there was a freaking leak in the tank while we were gone. No clue how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
There was, like, hardly any water, and he was just chilling there, like, looking up. And so we're like, oh, that's not good. So we just put him in a bowl.
Ultimate solution.
Yeah, until we got a new tank that wasn't leaking. And, yeah, now he passed away. And, yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Also, it's kind of funny why his name is Zebra, because I have this cousin, who, her cat's name was Zebra, and I remember one time, freshman year, because I didn't actually name this fish until, like, 4 years ago, which is really bad, but I'm horrible with names. And I remember during math class, she, like, was giving me a hard time because I didn't name it, and she had a cat named Zebra, and so I named the fish after the cat, just because.
Patrick is not creative, at all.
We literally, Piper,
and that's not supposed to.
I literally created a podcast where the title is literally describing my relationship with the co-host.
Yep. Which, that actually reminds me, Patrick, we need to explain the title too. I just realized that it does make sense, but there's also another kind of backstory to the title as well.
So I'd like to discuss how Piper and I met each other in a separate episode.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
Basically, the TLDR, we knew each other from work, and at work we would talk a lot, and some of the people there thought we were dating, and that is not the case. And we kept on telling them.
Not some of the people, like, I'm not even kidding. Most people there either thought or still think that we're together.
Yeah.
We are not. Patrick is my friend.
No, we're just friends.
He's also a Catholic who is going into priesthood,
so I can't
and he
do
cannot
that,
date anyone.
Because Catholic priests can't marry or have kids, and I wouldn't be dating at all because So no, we're just
Patrick's dying alone.
Yeah. I can have a cat or a dog or something, and God, of course.
What would you name a dog if you had one?
Honestly, I always wanted a dog named. Well, when I was little, I wanted a dog named Buddy. Now it's Rufus. I don't. Yeah.
Rufus. You're gonna have a dog named Rufus. I'm gonna have a dog named Kirby. I love the name Kirby for a dog.
That's great.
Because that was like my favorite game.
You should get like a little fat pink one that like eats everything.
that made me actually choke. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little fat dog.
That's pink.
That eats a lot. No, I'm not gonna get a pink dog.
Not? It's Kirby.
Are you crazy?
Have you never played the game?
Did you not hear me? I was saying like moments ago that was my favorite game as a kid was Kirby.
Yeah. So, but how...
I know, but it doesn't. There's no pink dogs in the universe, Patrick.
There's hair dye.
Oh my god.
Oh, that would be.
Well, no, I will get a dog. I don't know what kind. Probably a rescue, because I think rescuing animals is really important. Yeah, absolutely. Not that, like, if you don't rescue an animal, it's whatever, but I personally think rescuing animals is awesome, because they need a home.
That is good.
Patrick, I just want to address that we're doing something, we're creating something, and it's all good. And I'm just really happy to be here, like, doing this podcast with you. And I think you should say the quote of the day.
Okay, so, one interesting quote of the day is, being in the same room with people and creating something together is a good thing. Robin Williams.
I think that's such a good quote, and I chose it for this first episode because we are, though we're not in the same room together, we are creating something together. because, during these times, there's not much to do, and what better thing to do is than start a podcast.
Exactly.
And can we talk about Robin Williams, because
The man,
I
the
love
myth,
him.
the
I
legend.
adore that man. I love the legendary man, Robin Williams. Are you a fan of
Yeah.
him? What's your favorite movie?
Aladdin.
Oh, for sure. He carried that entire movie. Him as the genie is just the most iconic role I think he'll ever have in his career.
Definitely.
Or, well, he ever had. My bad.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
I definitely grew up with, like, Aladdin. Let's see, what else has he been in? He's been in Good Will Hunting. He's been in Jumanji. I really love him in Jumanji. All of those are... Oh, Mrs. Doubtfire, that's a good one. I'm probably missing, like, a whole bunch.
Well, yeah,
but
it's Robin Williams.
yeah, he's been in like awesome movies all around. He's one of my favorite actors. So this quote of the day just really brought me up and also made it kind of bittersweet because Robin Williams should always be remembered for his legendary work.
Yeah, yeah. And, I mean, hopefully you always will. Like, that's one thing that's good about the internet, is, like, we don't have... I mean, it's interesting, like, if you go into, like, Egyptian pantheons and stuff, like, we can only, like, piece back what we know, but with the internet, that might be out there forever. So his work will probably live on, if not seen, live on for almost like an eternity, just through the internet, pretty much.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you're so right about that too. Like, his movies will always be available to people to watch. Yeah. And anything on YouTube or in the internet in general will always be there for people to watch. So I hope that, like, because I have a really young sister who I adore.
Adorable.
And thank you, she is the light of my life. And I hope to especially teach her about my favorite actors, and Robin Williams will definitely be, like, the first person that she knows, because I want to make sure she knows who he is,
well, yeah,
you know?
it's Robin Williams.
It is Robin Williams. He's a legend.
Man, the myth.
How many times have I said legend?
A legendary amount of times.
A legendary amount of times. Gotta get, like, a counter for how many times I said that. Anyway. And I'm gonna go and talk about my sister again, because you guys, you have no idea how much I'm in love with my sister. Patrick can also kind of tell you, because I talk about her
I feel
a
like
lot.
she's gonna watch this in, like, 14 years and be like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited
I have a
for
sister
that.
named
She's gonna be
Piper.
like, who's this dork?
I'm kidding. She probably won't say that.
No, I mean, I don't know, I'm just excited for her to be like, who's this dork? Like, who are these two dorks doing a podcast?
She probably won't know who I am. Unless, well, like, hopefully we'll...
Yeah, she will.
If we're still friends, yeah. Which we probably will be.
I hope so. I want her to know Uncle Patrick, but that doesn't make any sense. It's not Uncle Patrick. That's not. That is not correct. That's not right, because she's not my daughter.
Oh, yeah. That's...
She might as well be my daughter, though. I treat her like my daughter. I'm old enough to be her mom.
Yeah?
Because for those of you who don't know, age gap between the both of us is 17 years, and between my brother and her is 19 years. So
pretty big gap.
It's a big age gap. Pretty big gap. We covered a lot of topics today, Patrick. Like, we did it.
Well, thank you all for watching. The encouragement we have received these past few weeks has been astounding. I would especially...
Absolutely.
And I would especially like to thank Sarahsketchz for creating the cover art that you see probably on the title.
Oh, yeah.
And
props to Sarah. Sarah's such a G. Like,
if you don't know Sarah, definitely check out her Instagram. If you go to the Instagram, Instagram, I think she has listed her Instagram there. And thank you especially for Kobe Johnson, who was making the music that you probably heard at the beginning and the end. Hopefully, if we get everything set up, you heard it. And also, he's the person doing the editing. Definitely thank both of them. show them
Yes, oh
some
my
love.
gosh. And Kobe.
Show both of
Kobe
them
is
some
awesome.
love. They're spectacular people. If you go to the, like I
They
said,
are awesome.
Instagram, both of them, their Instagrams are listed. And
Yep.
I hope you all have a fantastic day. And until next time, this has been
We're just friends.
friends.